Board of Trustees of the Harris County Department of Education is now convened in a board meeting on Wednesday, November 14, 2018, in the boardroom at 6300 Irvington Boulevard, Houston, Texas, at 1:05 p.m. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present and in this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the department are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on today's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in a closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by sections 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking time this afternoon to join us and for your interest in the Harris County Department of Education. We will have the invocation. Monique Smith, Case for Kids, will be leading. Please stand.
May we bow? Dear Father, thank you for today and allowing us to be here. We ask that you guide our decision making, that we do what is right for our students and those involved according to your will. Be with us as we go through each agenda item today and give us safe travel to our various destinations. All these things we ask in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Adrian from Case from Kids. Where's Adrian at? You're going to have to help me with your last name because I was going to mess it up. So how do you say your last name?
Isaguirre.
One more time?
Isaguirre.
Thank you. He's going to lead us in the pledge to the U.S. flag and the pledge Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, this is the open forum time. As we have one person who has requested to address us. It'd be Richard Cantu. Mr. Cantu, there you are.
Good afternoon, Chairman Evans, Superintendent Colbert, board members. I'm Richard Cantu, the newly elected trustee for position 3, following in Dr. Troutman's footsteps. Hope to serve as ably and honorably as she did in this capacity. Look forward to meeting with and working with all of you board members to meet the growing needs of Harris County as far as educational services, and doing so in a responsibly with the taxpayers' money. Also hope to bring my 25 plus years of experience dealing with community programs, after-school programs, community partnerships to work in my position here with the Board of Trustees. Thank you. I just wanted to come by and say hello.
We appreciate that. And, Mr. Cantu and I have actually worked together in several other committees. One was at North Harris County Education Alliance. So we've crossed paths before. You'll be coming on as I'm saying, see you. So
and we thank you for your service, Chairman.
All right, you take care.
Thank you.
Okay, reports and presentations. The Superintendent Monthly Report, James Colbert Jr.
Thank you, Chair. I actually don't have anything to report today. I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I found out yesterday that next week is Thanksgiving. Seriously. So I'm telling everybody how proud I am to serve as the superintendent of Harris County Department of Ed, and I love the people that I work with and the service that we provide to citizens of Harris County. And I wish everybody a safe and happy holiday next week. Thank you.
I think that's the first for me. That you did have a report, you were also short and concise.
It was.
And let's see here, we have annual update on the HCDE case for kids. Guess that's Lisa Carruthers standing in front of me.
Welcome. I'm here to make the report. Lisa Carruthers from Harris County Department of Education's Case for Kids, and I would like to ask my team to stand up. We're fully staffed here. Very good. Stay thin. So we just brought on, and they started yesterday, 2 new Vistas. So we are fully staffed with 4 AmeriCorps Vistas. So raise your hand if you are on our Vista team. So they will be supporting us this year. We're very excited to have the Vistas. I just want to point out a couple things. Jacqueline, raise your hands. Jacqueline was awarded this year from the National After School Association as one of the most influential people, under 30 and after school. So thank you very much. All right. So presenting out in November always is a little difficult because we're talking about last year, but we're kind of already in the groove for this year. So I'm trying to contextualize, and it really made me think back to last year and what happened and how we started our year with Hurricane Harvey. And so it really, I want to kind of use that as my thread to introduce some of the things that happened last year, but then also move forward into this year. So again, our team, we do a variety of things in our field. We work with both Monday through Friday comprehensive after-school programs. We serve 40, we have 44 programs this year, working with 107 programs. These are projects that are actually delivering services, so not just the comprehensive programs, but project-based learning. And then we have activities such as EcoBot and Debate that allows us to serve 14,000 kids, over 14,000 kids. And once you add in the adults we serve, because our 21st Century Grant also asks us to serve those parents so that they can help their kids succeed in their academic pursuits, our number goes up to 15,913. You can see we work with 16 different school districts to make this happen, and this is our numbers. Last year, after Hurricane Harvey, we were also looking at our comprehensive after-school program application to the Texas Education Agency. And so with this application that was for Cycle 10, we've successfully written and received these grants since I started here in 2000. First we received Cycle 2 in the same year I believe I started in 2000. And then we have successfully received a grant ever since, all the federal grants, and then 1 through 10 at the state. So we were very excited about this. But we approached schools and campuses that were hit by Harvey. So we have Sheldon and Galena Park campuses because we felt that that was a strong investment for selecting 10 campuses. You're only allowed to select 10 campuses in this application, and we were very fortunate to get awarded in this. We also have our partnership project with 23 programs there, and we have some new partners, our Spring Branch from Spring Branch Boys and Girls Club, and some new A-Leaf campuses and HISD campuses on that project as well. Our service provider community, this is where Jacqueline works. You see her name's up there for getting her fabulous award. But one of the things she does is she works with service providers that then can go into after-school programs. They provide content expertise, but she is making sure they're trained up in literacy, numeracy, or social emotional learning contexts that they can then bring that training and services into the community. In those programs, there might be a ballet folklorico group that can then integrate numeracy language inside step counts, patterning, etc. We have things like fencing. We have about 100 providers that go through our public bid each year, and then become a selection pool for Jacqueline for placing through her literacy initiative. We also, again, as you know, work with the City of Houston to administer their grants. 60 nonprofits. We are just finalizing all of that funding for this year. We have one district that is outstanding, but other than that, those 60 nonprofits have received $659,580. I do note that our contract and the money that the City Council initially gave us was $550, but they love us so much they always go in their personal budgets and give us a little more. So that's why that number gets a little higher. We do training. Another thing after the storm, we heard a lot of things going on in the community, and so we surveyed our providers that were working and opened up their doors when districts could not, and so a lot of the community centers were able to invite kids in. We found out about the activities from the YMCA and the Girls Club through social media, and went and helped them and volunteered down at George R. Brown, so some of my staff was able to then go do some after-school activities. They brought their after-school programs to the George R. Brown, and a few of our staff were able to go out there and help them with that. But everybody was like, the conference is right after that. Oh my gosh, we had called it Cruising with Case. They're like, you gotta do that, that's bad taste, you gotta change the name. And we're like, oh, well, we can't help it, it happened after the storm. So we went ahead and put on cruising caps. That was my best Captain Stubing outfit, and we hosted our conference and got a great turnout. Everybody had a really great time. We made it super fun with the theme, and then we also talked to our presenters about making sure that they integrated social emotional learning and trauma-informed care into their sessions, because it was right after we returned from the storm. Some of our highlights are our first year, case debates. Before we left for the storm, we had 3 campuses for case debates, and we had to get to 10. So we came back from the storm, we hurried up and got 7 more campuses. We got our 179 kids, and we hurried up. You have to have a certain number of rounds to be able to compete in the March City Championship. So all of that we in 1 year's time, even with the storm, we got to 10 campuses, 179 kids, and as I reported before, 2 of them went to nationals. So we were very excited about that, and we're in year 2 now, very excited. We are up to 14 campuses now. Our future projects, we're not sure if there'll be a Cycle 11. We are very excited. Cycle 9, which grant was due at the close at the end of this year, got an extension. You will see a board item today that they will be able to extend us for 2 more years. So it was supposed to close. It was a 3-year grant. They changed it to a 5-year grant. Yay! So with that, we're not sure if they'll release a Cycle 11. It's most likely that money would come from the federal budget and out of next year's budget. We are looking at a new, again, trauma-informed care is still very important to us, and we are looking now at emergency preparedness for youth and starting an initiative. Brandy, wave your hand, does a lot of first aid training for our staff and our after-school coordinators, and she's done it for some of our HCDE departments as well. So now we're looking at how do we get our kids able to respond and trained in first aid and an emergency response. So that's our newest initiative. And then, of course, continue with our Cycle 10 with the wraparound services. And that's all we have. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Trina will kill me. 20 years, case is going to be 20 years old. Woo! So yes, we're coming on our 20-year mark. So we're really super duper excited. You'll be hearing us next year talking about this and having all kinds of celebrations around 20 years with HCDE. Any questions?
Go ahead.
I was just telling. We there? Oh, I was just telling Mrs. Langlois that I had not heard super duper in quite some time. I'm not sure how you spell super duper. It's hyphenated. But I just want to thank Case for the incredible job that they did with our case debates. I pretty much threw that on your lap and got you involved in that, to sit down with the people to do it in develop a plan, and you went back and sat down with your team and found somebody to take charge of that. And then unexpectedly, life gets in the way, or nature gets in the way with Harvey, and y'all rebounded great from that. And it's just another opportunity for us to be able to collaborate with people in the city and in the county. And I think it speaks well of the flexibility and the agility of your department to be able to extend services to students outside of what we traditionally do. So I appreciate your leadership and all your folks for doing that.
And Tony needs the debate shout out.
Yes, he is.
Thank you all.
We have a website presentation. Since you jumped up, I guess it's yours.
It's mine. Good afternoon, President Evans, trustees, Mr. Colbert. My name is Danielle Clark. I'm the Chief Communications Officer for HCDE. I'm going to take just a few moments of your time to showcase HCDE's new website for you. So if you want to turn around, hopefully we'll get it up. So really quickly, while it's waiting to load, I just want to give you a little bit of background. I do want to recognize the client engagement team. They're all here today. We call them the Dream Team. They have toiled hard and long over this. This was about a 9-month project, and in the last few weeks, put in many, many long hours, nights, sometimes till the wee hours of the morning to get this up and running. So if you'll stand, I do want to recognize them for their hard work. So just a little bit of background on the website. It was redesigned from a user perspective. So if you look at a website, you're going to look at it in 2 different ways. They're typically organized by organization structure, which for the community doesn't always make sense because they don't know how we're structured. So this is based on what we call the user experience. So it's designed to be colorful. It is designed to be interactive, dynamic, and constantly changing. So you'll see that we have our top level navigation. These are the main areas of the department. And then we have what's called our slider. That's this. You can go through this and you can see varying things from our winter conference to stuff about the Harris County Department of Education, as well as our Head Start and our adult ed locations. Those are geographically mapped, so they're actually accurate. I'm sorry. This was an adult ed story about the 2 mothers who became citizens. And then we also have our recruiting for Head Start. So if you come down here, we have a resolution issue, don't we, Mr. Colbert? No, it should be. Okay. You want to go down one? See if that's it. So you'll see that sometimes there's no way to predict for every computer in the world how it's going to respond based on resolution of your screen or how you have things set up. But anyways, these are the 5 pillars of the department, which you'll see, as well as our workshops, which is one of the other services that we provide. So if you go down, you'll see we have our news features. These are going to change out constantly. About every week we'll have 5 different things. We'll have a student story, a staff story, an event, a highlight of a program, things of that nature. This pulls automatically from our news blog. This is also the HCDE Twitter feed that will come on automatically. Now I need to let you know, in case you know somebody who likes to comment on our Twitter feed, it will not show comments or posts. It only shows what HCDE posts. So that is a little bit of a control mechanism there. We have our events. So here you have a picture with an upcoming event. These are our local events, a lot of our workshops, and then this is what we call a highlight, which is our Early Childhood Winter Conference. We can move that out as well. Down here we have a spotlight video. If you click here, this will take you to the YouTube channel for HCDE. This is a video that will play in line, meaning it will play on the page, and that will be changed out as well. Down here we have our testimonials and fast facts. So this is another slider that moves, and if you scroll to the right, you'll see varying things. So this is where we have right now, we have students and grandparents talking about the different things. We also have our fast facts of the different types of services that we provide. And here's another testimonial. And these will constantly be changed out as well based on seasons and different information that we get. This is where we talk about our tax rate, and you can see it consistently going down. And if you go here, you can click and you can actually put in your assessed valuation and determine how much it costs each individual homeowner to support the services of Harris County Department of Education. Down here we have 4 additional things, and I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to try and do this quickly for you, but the one thing I do want to showcase for you is what we're calling our profile. This is where you can go. You can also get to it from here. You can get to it here. But anyways, this tells you just a quick overview of what Harris County Department of Ed is and who we are and what we do. So obviously, this is about the size of the county that we serve. And then you go through, and these are individual sliders. This is going to be a little bit more about the department itself. And then you're going to go into, I believe, the different services. So again, we have our 5 pillars, and then we have our support services, which are TLC, the center, records management, and choice. These are interactive as well. So if you go onto the schools icon, it will take you to the schools page. And again, these are statistics that are based on the 1718 service numbers. And you can scroll through this and see each of the different pillars as well as the support services. So you can see the different things that we have going on here. And we have another resolution issue. And there's adult ed. Okay, so we'll go back over here. If you come, and that's the profile. If you come over here to About HCDE, this is going to tell you in pretty easy terms kind of an overview of who we are and what we do. Again, these are the service numbers. And you can go to each of these divisions and look at those service numbers. Down here, you can see some of the different callouts that we have. The idea of the website is that if you go in one page, you can cross-reference to any type of related item based on that topic. Again, it is topically driven. It is not based on our org chart. Our mission and vision superintendent has a page. If you were to go here and you just really, really, really wanted to read the connector all over again, you can see them by year, and you can go back and view those. So that's the superintendent's page. If you come over here, you'll see that our leadership team, so all of the fine folks and a lot of the fine folks in the audience, here's who they are, here's their little bio, as well as an email, a click to link on their email. Okay, so over here, we have our schools. The interesting thing about our schools pages is that we have created what are called microsites within the site. So if you go to ABS East, and it'll be like this for each of them, this is their crest. These are real numbers. This is this, but if you come up here, these will be, right now they're not 100% populated, I don't believe, because we're waiting for information from schools. But the schools can populate this with information like an actual school, and it could be information that their communities and their parents can go to when they need it, and it is dynamic within the school's page. So each school has what's known as a microsite within the site, if that makes sense. So those are all the schools. Head Start, after school, therapy, and then we also have a page on Scholastic Art. When you come over to the services, these are more of the adult-based services that we offer. So you have all of the other divisions and things that they do. We'll go to one of the we'll go to the Teaching and Learning Center, as we have a lot of different workshops that we have. So you can see that, again, we're graphically driven. It's all about pictures and smaller text on page, color blocks. And then these are the different areas of TLC. You can register for the winter conference. There's some more information, resources. And the other thing I wanted you to notice is that each of the divisions has a staff contact information. So should a member of the community want to contact people in the division, they can see who the senior director is, and they can see them, and then they can email them as well. Careers, this is typical, would be job opportunities. This is going to take you to our third-party vendor where we list all of our positions, and you can go and you can apply right there. And we have other information available. So that's under careers, employees, and then our recruiting information. So here's your pages. So we have information about the board. So we have information, we have your big photo, and we have your mission and vision. Here's of your agendas by year and your minutes by year. Those are also over here. So if you go to Meet the Board, you're gonna see all of your photos, and it's gonna have your emails linked and your bios as well as your terms. If you go to the videos, this will take you to the YouTube page where all of our videos are played for archival purposes. And if you go over here, these are your policies as well as the election process. Last but not least, we have Dr. Mesqua's section, which is our finance section. And this is where we have all of our financial data. So we have more information than people probably could ever go through in a good day. And so we have contracts, debt obligations, finances. We have our budget located in various places. I believe it's on this page as well. You scroll down, here's our budget book. You can see the budget. You can go back and you can look at prior year budget books. And again, it's all cross-referenced up here. This is the tax rate page that I mentioned before. So you'll see the chart again. You'll come down here, and you'll be able to put in your assessed valuation, and it'll get your amount. And it'll talk about collections and exemptions and all that other good stuff with the finances. And that is a very quick overview of our website for you. Do you have any questions? Very good. Thank you much.
Thank you. Mr. Sumner, you have a report for the Board Feasibility Subcommittee?
Yes, I'd like to report that the superintendent has been authorized to begin negotiations for a contract for the construction of the AB West campus, which is a new milestone for us at this point in time. It looks like we're going to be finally getting underway.
Okay, we have other reports from board members concerning attendance or participation in a board or HCDE related conference, event, activity, committee, accolades, or any other deserving person.
Louis. I would just like to congratulate Dr. Troutman on her election victory.
Boy, she's quiet. I don't think I've ever seen her quiet either. This is a first here. Anybody else have anything? To a presentation, I guess it was yesterday. Yeah, the human trafficking, and that was quite interesting. So, the department has a lot of good information they present, and that was just one of the ones that we had that I got to go. I had an opportunity to go see. So, anybody else? If not, monthly financial reports, Dr. Amesqua.
Okay, the first report is the financial highlights as of October 31st. We'll review the financial statements, the budget amendments. Everything is posted on our website, and as Clark mentioned earlier today. And our general fund balance sheet is assets are $30,238,999, liabilities of $1,903,854, and equity and appropriated fund balance of $30,238,999. Our unaudited fund balance is $28,050,197 with the various items. The indicators as of October 31st, the first one is the percent of fund balance ratio to expense ratio. Again, it's only the second month of the year, so we're the numbers are going to look a little funny because of the way that there's only 2 months out of the year. Working capital ratio, we're at 28 million, the same as last year. Unassigned fund balance, how much is available in reserves, and we're at 42% versus 51% last year. Debt to income ratio, we haven't made any payments, so that you will start seeing in February. Tax revenue to total revenue ratio, we have not started receiving the taxes yet, so this is just some delinquent taxes collected, so we'll start receiving those next month. Indirect cost to tax ratio, we're at 1%, and last year at the same time we're at 3%. We're projected to end the year at 3%. Fee for service ratio, we're at 55%, which is the same amount that we were last year. Fee for service growth ratio, we're at -8, same thing as we were last year at the same time, being the second month of the year. Fund balance activity, we have some budget amendments. We didn't have anything in September, so the first budget amendments will be here in the month of October. Revenues for the first 2 months were at 8%, and overall we're at 9%. This is the second month of the year, so we have 16%, so we're below our expense ratio at this point in time. I'm sorry, revenue ratio. This is the amendments, the first amendment. The expenditures were at 14% versus 16% in the budget. Our donations for the month are $5,065, and primarily we're Choice Partners, I guess donations for the annual food expo. So they're all listed in your packet. The amount of the values as of October, we're at 441 billion versus we started at 412 billion, and so we're projected to hit 451 billion by the end of the year in terms of certified values. Year to date in taxes, we've collected 40,514, and primarily our delinquent taxes. We'll start receiving current taxes in the next month. Disbursements for the year were 3,127,356, 440 transactions, 668 transactions, 6 transfers. Segment data, again, keep in mind it's only the second month of the year, so the revenues will come in later on in the year. So we have educator certification, minus 41,775, records management, minus 37,787, school-based therapy services, minus 238,278, and schools at minus 2,446,759. The schools will be billed in the month of in this particular month, so you will see that be covered in the next month's report. Choice Partners, it is at a impressive benefit ratio of 63%. Benefit radiance at this point in time of 1,127,246, and this is only the second month. So that is really moving along well for Choice Partners at this time of the year. Amendments, general fund 455,000, and special revenue 137,020, 140,000, and these are for additional expenses due to asset turnover, temporary services. We have a 315,000 budget amendment for increased revenues and expenses for a contract with HISD that is later on in the budget that you will see and approve that. You have grants rolled over for special revenue funds, new amounts that basically we finished the fiscal year, and now they need to be rolled over into the new year. And so this is just basically additional revenues and expenditures for our grants, a total of $137,020. A quick update on the PFC update. The amount available in the PFC is $10,761,199, and we've added a new line to include how much is the budget that has been allocated for the contract that's already been awarded, and after that, how much is left over yet. So there's still monies available. We also created an amount, and this is I need to report a tentative report this. Out of the interest earnings that we've earned of 212,000, 17,000 approximately of that, or rather 12,700, are going to be rebatable to the IRS because these are interest earnings above the $1.60, the 168% that we're earning on the bonds. Interest rates right now are in the 2%, 190, 2% range. So every time that we earn above the 168, we need to set aside the interest payments so we can send to the IRS in the Treasury. The construction contract was awarded in November, and the construction period is anywhere between 11 to 14 months. Questions on the first report, financial statements report?
No, sir.
The second part is the, nope, that's not it. The investment report. Our total portfolio is 36,488,247, of which 10,752,596 is in the PFC. Pretty much everything is on either TechSpool, TechStar, Lone Star, or part of it at Chase Bank. At the PFC, the majority, 99% of that is at TechSpool, which is earning at this point in time above 2%, and so that accumulates above the treasury amount for the bonds. In terms of comparison, our portfolio from a year ago, it is minus 3%. It was 1,143,552 less than a year ago. Pretty much all our funds are overnight, and we're climbing the ladder in terms of the interest rates. As rates go up, we continue to climb with those rates. So year-to-date earnings are $83,389, and PFC $37,003. A yield of 2.15, and the benchmark is 2.32. We're at earning at 2.4 to 2.16. So you can see the last time that it was April of 2018 that we were at 168. So anytime that we're above 168 for the PFC, we'll have to set aside that interest so we can pay it to the IRS. Questions on the investment report?
No, sir.
And also like to point out on page 359, for the 11th year in a row, HCDE has received the award for outstanding achievement in popular annual financial reporting. So it is page 359 and 360 of your packet.
Mr. Parker, could you go see if you could find, or do you know where she went? Okay. Take just a quick pause while we wait to see, because she's the one that keeps all our records for our minutes. Okay, we'll do action items consensus. Do I have any that people would like to pull or reserve?
Yes, hello. Erica.
Erica, yes, ma'am.
Yes. 6, B as in boy.
Six B, anything else, ma'am?
E as in egg, 1.
Oh, all the year.
I don't know. You'll have to say again, please.
Let me turn. E1, E as in egg.
Echo 1.
Echo 1, yeah.
Anything else? We're good? Give me a thumbs up. There you go. All right. You have a pretty bad connection, so I see I'm hearing about every third word, and you look like you're in slow motion almost. Okay, so with that being said, do I have a motion? I have people over here whispering in my ear that 6C6, there is actually on your desk. It's actually better backup than what you were provided. So if there's something you want to look at, it's there for you. Okay? Now, with that being said, we're going to reserve Boy 6 and Echo 1. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? I got a motion by trustee Dick, and I got a second by trustee Troutman. Do I have any discussion? Hearing no discussion, let's have a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? All abstaining? So motion passes 5-4, 1 abstention. Okay, so we will take 6B. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, I got a motion. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Do I have any discussion? Okay. Let's have a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, all opposed? All abstaining? Yes, you're going to abstain. Okay. So that's going to be 5-4 and 1 abstention. Okay. Then we're going to, see, we need to go to E1. Where's it at? Page 8. There it is. Okay. Do I have a motion on E1?
So moved.
Got a motion? Do I have a second? Got a second? That's, motion was trustee Dick and trustee Troutman was the second. Do I have any discussion?
This is trustee Carter, who is on my headphones. Can you hear me better?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to know the liability of the department for those organizations. There's one organization that I'm a little concerned about, and I just want to make sure their actions will not reflect on HCDE.
I think what we got is you're asking about the liability for HCD with these organizations?
Right. So we post a public bid for after-school providers and vendors that can work in that space. And they submit applications. We review and score them, and they get accepted into the bid process. They become a pool for us, just in the same way as Choice, for districts to use that interlocal arrangement to purchase them. If we spend money at CASE from HCDE out of the CASE budget, we actually add another step for them to apply to tell us a little bit more about the literacy, numeracy, or SEL programming that they do before we will select them into our expenditure process, which we would have already done the bid through the public and the legal process, but for our selection, we do self-impose another level. So not all of these providers are people that we actually spend funds with, and so if there's a concern on someone, we would love to hear that so that we can, just be aware of what's going on with them as we walk the process.
Did I answer your question?
Trustee Carter, yes.
And then liability, of course, is on the actual district that uses it if they use it outside of us.
Okay, anybody else? Don?
Can you explain what kind of services these organizations provide in English?
Hype Freedom Schools runs after-school programs. They mainly focus on summer camp, and they run it inside community centers or partner with a school district to run it inside of school. They go elementary and middle school. Interactive STEM Robotics, that is a STEM program with, they hire instructors to do science, technology, and engineering and math. There are about 6 more. Do you want to hear about each one? I could also share this chart with, with everyone that describes the services that each provides.
Okay, and my question, since we're talking about liability, do we require all these organizations to provide background checks to all their employees?
Yes, they all do a vendor packet, just like any contractor at HCDE through our purchasing division. They do a vendor packet, they sign off on the background checks. They also, anything that is required by any vendor. This is no different than what we do through purchasing.
Are we requiring that they go outside the Harris County for their background checks?
Are we requiring that they go outside of Harris County? I never heard anything
I guess
like
he's
that.
asking who does the background check.
They in the vendor packet, they get their background checks and verify it through the packet paperwork. I don't know that if Bill's here, I don't know that we
Why don't you
mandate
tell me we have a
or-
service so that the service does it, you don't do it, that we
Yeah, we
contract
don't
with
do
somebody.
it, right.
I'm talking about us doing it, but I
We
know-
do it for our employees
I know
and our vistas.
a lot of organizations just do their background check in Harris County. They don't do it nationwide or in the state.
Right, right. Oh, I see what you're saying. So the levels, right, like employees in our vistas. So anybody that we are working and hiring, like our vistas who work so closely with us, we do all the way up to the federal. The vendor packet, as far as purchasing in HCD, I would have to defer to Mr. Monroe.
We also go to the federal level. It's an extensive,
Thank you.
not extremely detailed, but extensive search.
Yeah.
It's actually by the date. If it's employees hired by a contractor on or after January 1st, 2008, it's a national criminal history check. But if the employee was hired before January 1st, 2008, it's any law enforcement or criminal justice agency.
Any other questions? Okay, let's have a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed?
She's 4.
I don't know. She says she raised my said.
Ask her thumbs up or.
Trustee Carter, are you thumbs up or thumbs down? For this or against it?
I'm voting for it.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much. All right, then it's 6-0. Okay, action items, non-consensus. Yes, sir.
I was looking at the backup just now, and starting from this point on, all the backup seems to be in reverse. In the back of the book, I was trying to look up 7A, and if I turn to page 271, it jumps to page 353. And then it starts going backwards. Don, turn to page 271.
I think what it boils down to, your book, yeah, it must be yours, because mine doesn't do that either.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't have to, yeah, so, they're just messing with you,
I
Mike.
know, right?
Actually, I think you get the prize because you got the special book.
Right.
All right, do you have any questions, though?
I was just trying to look at the contract or the information for 7A. Can somebody tell us about 7A?
Tell you what, let me get, hang on. I gotta get to that point. And then
Oh,
and then
we
we'll
need a
call,
motion,
then
okay.
we'll call up. So, we're gonna do action items, non-consensus. I'm going to have, do I have a motion for 7A?
Yes.
Got a motion, do I have a second? Got a second. Do I need any discussion? Bingo, there you, it's your turn.
So our Cycle 9 grant, which was due to be over at the end of this fiscal year, the state did decide, instead of releasing a Cycle 11 at this point, to extend the terms of the grant. We received a notification that there will be 2 more years, making it a 5-year grant. And so this is to create a coordinator position. Our position had been vacated by a staff that actually moved on to a new, stayed internally, but moved on to a new position. And so initially, we were not going to replace that position because with only 1 year of grant funds available, we would not, we would have to substitute in. But with 3 years, we are posting the position, and we have the job description attached. We have the memo from the state, as well as the programs inside the.
So at some later point, y'all would bring us an applicant to approve or not?
Just like all case employees, we post it for 10 days and we interview, and then we make recommendations to our HR department, who then does all the background checks and all that good references, and then they make an offer.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, let's have a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, motion passes 6-0. 7B, consider acceptance of the notice of award from the Office of Justice Programs approval of HCDE Center for Safe and Secure Schools Division application for funding under FY18 Stop School Violence Prevention and Mental Health Training Program in the amount of $480,233. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion. Do I have a second? Got a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 6-0. 7C, consider acceptance of the notice of award for distance learning capacity building initiative from the Texas Workforce Commission in the amount of $174,798 to build capacity and improve adult education and literacy distance learning throughout HCDE service delivery area. This supports 2,950 adult education students. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Got a second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing no discussion, let's have a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 6-0. Okay, 7D. Consider approval of the amendment to the lease agreement with KQC Investors LLC for Baytown Head Start located at 323 Massey Tompkins Road, Baytown, Texas. This is to extend the completion date from 12/31/18 to 5/31/19. This is fully funded by the Head Start grant. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion. Do I have a second? Got a second? Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 6-0.
Louis,
Yes, sir.
I'd like legal advice on 7E.
So we have a request for legal advice for 7E. So to do that, we would need to go to executive session. So since we're about to go in executive session, why don't I just take 7E and we'll visit it after we come back from executive session. So with that said, under Texas Government Code, pursuant to any and all purposes permitted by sections 551.001 through 551.084, including but not limited to 551.071 through 551.074, we are adjourned. It is now 1:55. It is now 3:38. We are back in session.
Yeah, yeah.
2:30, you're right. Because it's wishful thinking for you. I'm thinking the day's closer to being over. All right, it's 2:38, excuse me. All right, so we are now looking at 7E. And do I have a motion?
Yeah, and I second it. Sarah, if we wanted to amend it, would we make a motion to amend, or how would we go about amending it?
So there's two options. One, you could, now that you've made a motion and a second, you can do a friendly amendment if you both agree. That doesn't require a vote. Or you could do, if it's not a friendly amendment, you would make a motion to amend, the motion to approve the contract with any addition or anything like that to be said. And then the board would have to vote, if it's not a friendly amendment, on the motion to amend first, and then vote on the amended motion.
Sure. And so I guess.
So you gotta see if she's gonna be friendly with you and let you do what you wanna do.
Correct.
Yes. So what I wanted to do is add in board president into that, was it 7F?
7E.
Or 7E. Where 7E would say superintendent, and right after that,
You mean to the actual contract, not to the agenda item?
yeah, to the actual contract.
Sorry, 1 second.
Uh-oh, you get your glasses out, man.
So where it say 7F, where it would read,
7.
report regularly, at least monthly, to HCDE superintendent and board president, including on any developments or changes, yada, yada, yada.
So just add board president following HCDE superintendent to the Exhibit A, item F of the contract.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
On
Right?
F. On F of the scope of work. I think we're getting confused between the agenda item, which is 7E, as opposed to the, yeah. So it would read, report regularly, at least monthly, to HCD superintendent and board president, including on any developments or changes in state legislative policy or administrative action at the state government level which require HCD's awareness or attention, or action.
Well, they're not gonna be in person, probably. It's gonna be over the phone, so it's really,
Would that be okay simultaneously?
yeah, you could say together
He's okay.
with.
Together with, we okay with that?
Right, we're okay with it.
Okay.
So you're okay with it, right, Diane?
With,
Okay.
I'm sorry, are we adding simultaneously or?
Can that be repeated?
No,
Or yes or no?
no, we're just doing what we were.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
In other words, put together with instead of and.
Okay. Okay, I'll read it back just to make sure.
Go there, wordsmithing this thing.
Okay, so it's been requested that Exhibit A, item F to the contract be amended to state report regularly, at least monthly, to HCD superintendent together with the HCDE board president, including on any developments or changes in state legislative policy or administrative action at the state government level which require HCD's awareness or action. Is that correct? And is that a friendly amendment?
Yes.
You got it, Erica? Don't you do the thumbs up? Okay.
She's smiling, so.
Right. All right, are there any other discussion with this contract? No? No? Okay, hearing no further discussion, let's have a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, all opposed? Okay, motion passes 4-2. Okay, do I have any other motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second? Second. It is now 2, what is that, 42? We're adjourned.